All right. I like it when a plan comes to fruition. It is Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I am Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. This is a special interview segment, and we are going to interview shortly the Delaware High School State Cross Country Champion from the boys' side in Division II, and we'll meet him shortly. But before we meet him and his head coach, all right, let's see if this will work. Yes, this is brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you would like a funny, fascinating, and memorable experience for a party or an event that you are having, please consider my stage hypnosis show. Details about which you can find on my website, marshalmanlove.com. And I'll promote something else later. Let's try to figure out if I can make all these buttons work and then meet our guest. Let's hit that. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, there's two of me though. That can't work. We can't do that. There's a still picture of me and a live picture of me. This is what we have to do. We're going to turn off that. Oh, look at this. Everything is working so well so far. I'm on a roll. Hang on there, guys. Everybody sees you, so just smile. Just keep smiling. Just keep smiling. There we are. All right. I don't know what your screen looks like here, but in the upper left-hand corner is the Division II Boys State Champion in cross country here in Delaware from Delaware Military Academy, Ethan Walther. Introduce yourself there, young man, so we can make sure that your microphone is working properly.
All right, I'm Ethan. I'm a sophomore at Delaware Military Academy. Recently just won Division II cross country and looking for another great season of indoor.
All right. Yes, you did. You won. That's why you are here. And your head coach, Chris Warren, at the bottom there of the screen. Introduce yourself there. Make sure your microphone's working. Tell me a little bit about yourself there, sir.
Hi, I'm Chris Warren, head coach, cross country, indoor track and field and outdoor track and field at Delaware Military Academy, where I've been since 2013.
All right. So congratulations, Ethan, on your championship. You're young for a champion on the boys' side. We don't see a whole lot of freshmen or sophomores, even juniors, win state championships. So congratulations to you. How long have you been running?
I've been running cross country since third grade, and then I started track in fourth grade also.
Wow. Why?
I've played lacrosse forever, and then one of me and my buddies from lacrosse, we heard about it and we wanted to try it, so we hopped in, and then I just enjoyed every practice. It was just a great thing to do, and I found that I was pretty good at it, so I just stuck with it.
Yeah, you are. You won your division by a lot, actually. I was just reminding myself of the score of the times. You beat your second place competitor by 23 seconds in that race, and you also, as a result of your top 7 time in the state, or first team all-state. So congratulations. How did you do last year? Do you remember?
So last year I was just barely off of all-state, so I trained pretty hard this summer to hopefully come back and get all-state this year. But last year I would say I had a pretty good season. I ran 16:41 as my PR that last season.
Wow. Yeah, that is good. How tall are you, by the way?
I'm about 5'7", 5'8".
Okay. So, yeah, I find like a lot of so are you on the Delaware Military Academy lacrosse team also?
I was last year, but I'm not sure this year with how good I'm doing at track. I'm not sure if I'm gonna switch over.
So you might join the spring track team, huh?
Yes.
Okay. And it looks like your coach has something he wants to say about that.
No, it's always funny, just with various sports, how they cross over. We have a lot of kids who want to try cross country. Like Ethan was saying, he tried it when middle school. He's been playing lacrosse for a long time, and people try it out and find that they're really good at it. I think it was the same idea with track last year. We did indoor track, and he's been doing track for a long time, but outdoor track and lacrosse conflict. And we talked about it early and often. Hey, like lacrosse is important. We want to do that. It was his freshman year. I told him, do what makes you happy. Make sure you have fun with it. And we did indoor track last year, and he broke our 800-meter school record indoors as a freshman. So he's got a lot of talent there as well as out on the cross country course. So the sky's the limit for him. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, no kidding. The future is definitely bright. So, talk about the race. It was at Killens Pond State Park on a pretty warm day. And do you remember what it was like in the state championship meet last year, by any chance?
Oh, last year I remember that one very well.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's meet was a lot worse than this one. It was already at like one of the hardest courses in Delaware, Brandywine Creek,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was freezing and raining. It was so muddy. So this year was definitely an upgrade, even with it being on the warmer side.
Yeah, for people just watching this, last year a cold front blew through after the first race of the day and just destroyed everything and everybody. I ran away. I was a coward. I left the course. I packed up my camera, went and sat and cried in my car with my heater on. It was horrible. I don't know how anybody actually got through that race. It was terrible. But then this year, it was like 75 degrees down there, a totally different environment. So, how do you prepare yourself for a warm day like that?
So I don't really do anything different compared to like the weather. Like cold days, I'll just like keep on the sweatshirt and like the sweatpants till like right before the race to stay warm. This I guess I just kept on like sweatpants all day, just trying to keep myself like warm and loose, and then just kind of hopped up to the line.
Now, when you got up to the line there, and what was your strategy from the start at the starting line? Because you have dozens and dozens of runners. What was your plan?
So my plan was that I figured people would try to go out with me because like I've been running and the Joe Neal Invitational, I was like leading the way with Ryan Baker for that. So I was thinking people were gonna try to stay out with me. So I was gonna go out my normal pace, like hard the first mile. Hopefully people stay with me. Then they would burn out. I was planning on, and then just try to keep that up for the rest of the race.
So the vantage points I had were only at the start, the finish, and about a quarter of a mile in. And you were leading, I believe, even at that quarter of a mile. Was it that way throughout the whole race?
Yes, I was leading the entire race.
All right, fantastic. So, Coach, you take a runner like this who's obviously very talented at an early age. He's got a plan going in. How do you coach a kid like this? What do you actually say to help him improve or keep focused or whatever?
Yeah, I think that a lot of what we do on race day it comes directly from what we do at practice. On a lot of our hard effort days, we have a very talented team, but Ethan is by far and away our best guy. And he has to do a lot of those hard effort days on his own. The rest of the team is there, but he's up in the front. And we knew going into the race that there was a good chance that it would be him up at the front for the whole time. So when we do that at practice, it translates right into the race. Our plan going in was to make sure if you're going to be in the front, make sure you keep everybody behind you for as long as you can. And if somebody comes up behind you, you let them know that that's your spot. But as far as, what we work on, what we say to him, it's just, even though we knew that we had a chance to win the race and we knew we had a chance to be the best one out there, it's always important just to, go out of your comfort zone sometimes. Like we'll go up to meets in New York. We'll go up to meets in New Jersey, where we can get some outside competition from other people from different states, just so he can see what else is out there, not just from his competition in Delaware with some of the big Division I runners from Sally's and Middletown and Cape, but a lot of the other states as well. So just try to give him as broad of a horizon as we can. That way he's ready for any situation.
and talk about some of the other members of your team and if they were able to help you, talk to you, or anything like that, either before or during the race.
Yeah, so my team, we're all really tight, like especially our starting seven, like our varsity seven. We're all really tight, so like we all hype each other up before the races, get everybody locked in, just ready to run. And even on practices when it's like longer distance, when I'm able to put a more gap, they still try to push me. They still do everything they can. And it's making them better. It's making me better.
So, what do you like about long distance running through mud and woods?
I like the long distance running through the woods, not as much the mud part. Uh, the mud gets a little bit slippery and messy.
Hmm. And what are your favorite? What's your favorite course to run in Delaware?
Um, my favorite course to run in. So I like practicing on Brandywine Creek the best, and then probably racing on Bellevue.
Okay. Have you done White Clay Creek course
Yes, we
with that
we
hill?
would practice there a lot.
That's the one that has that big hill in it, in the middle of it,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's hard. And people like do that for fun. I don't really understand that. Your sport is other sports punishment. But I admire cross country runners. If anybody who's watched my shows here know that I have a special respect for runners based on things that I've seen people push themselves to do over the course of a couple decades that I've been watching this, and it takes a special sort of mental toughness that at your age, at his age, Chris, you just have it or you don't, probably, right? That mental toughness.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to running in general, we like to, especially on our team, and I know a lot of other teams in the state of Delaware, like runners come in all shapes and sizes. So there's lots of people that get out there and do it. But what defines the champions, what defines Ethan from some of his competitors sometimes, is just that there is like that something in the back of your head that just tells you to keep going no matter how much it hurts. They go through a lot in the middle of the race, whether it's muscles, tendons, bones, but a lot of it is in your head. And there is just something about the guys that get out there in PR, win races, girls too, that just says like, hey, keep going, keep pushing, you can do this.
So I was talking to the Division II girls state champion, Bryn Crandall, and uh, her, along with some wrestling state champions from last year. The nutrition angle has changed a lot in the last, definitely the last 20 years, but even more so in the last 10. Talk about the role that nutrition plays for you, Ethan, and Chris. How involved are you in that part of the process?
So nutrition, it's I kind of eat like whatever, like throughout like the normal week, like just try to keep like sustained, just eat whatever I feel like. And then definitely a lot of water though. I always drink a lot of water. And then the day before the meet, I'll drink a gallon and a half to 2 gallons of water, and then eat like a nice like dinner, normally like steak or something like that, and then cook some spaghetti that night.
That's interesting. So you go with a higher dose of protein than carbohydrates. Then I hear a lot of runners just pound on a lot of pasta and carbohydrates. Yours a little different there.
No, I kind of eat like the balanced diet, like so I'll eat like the protein and stuff like that, but like I'll also have a lot of the carbohydrates and stuff like that. I'll load on the pasta.
Yeah. So there is more attention paid to nutrition at a younger age here. So, Chris, talk about your role in the nutrition angle here for your runners.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of things, I don't want to necessarily dictate how their life goes, but I want to make sure that I'm helping to guide them in the right direction. I think we're always talking about pasta parties. There's years where I'll have the kids over before big races, and we'll have a big pasta party at the house or somebody's house. So I think it's important that we guide kids in the right direction, but not too overly controlling on what they eat or anything like that. Just making sure that they keep things balanced, like Ethan said. My college coach at University of Delaware, Jim Fisher, he always used to tell us to eat a colorful plate. So I just try to make sure we pass that information along. Um, and then making sure that they are getting enough, I think, is the big thing. With runners, everybody likes to call us like super skinny and rail thin, but at the end of the day, when they go out for an 8 to 10 mile run or something like that, I mean, they're burning more than 2,000 calories in that process sometimes. So they need to make sure they're taking in what they're losing. And I think that's a big part of just making sure that um, they stay healthy, they recover appropriately, and making sure they get to the next race feeling good and not, injured or undernourished.
So, just a little bit more personal information about you, Ethan. So it's not just all about the run. What do you like to do for fun other than just run and play lacrosse?
So I like to hang out with like my friends and stuff like that, like the normal stuff. Definitely play Xbox. I'll hop on with like four or five of my friends and play games. It's always a fun time. And then just messing around. Other sports are always fun to play around with.
Are you superstitious at all?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I have socks that I've worn for every race of the season.
okay, that's where I was getting at. All right. Do you wash them?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes, I
after
do.
every race?
Yes.
Okay.
Got to keep them fresh.
Yeah, all right, good. And so let me ask you this question. Why did you choose Delaware Military Academy?
So my older brother went there, and there was another runner, Quinn Odell, that I heard about, and he was pretty nice. So just kind of went over there. Just heard about their school, wanted to go there, like the facilities.
And coach, you said you went to the University of Delaware. Where did you go to high school? Was it around here?
Yeah, I went to St. Mark's, graduated in 2009.
Okay. All right. That was during the time that my old show was coming to a close there. So I should have recognized you, but it was in the middle of my company getting destroyed by the big recession back then. So
Oh
I took a
yeah.
little hiatus there. And what was your career like at St. Mark's?
Yeah, I didn't really start running until my junior year, actually, and it was one of those things where I had a friend who was on the cross country team, and he said, it would be fun. We could go out and hide in the woods and not run, and that's actually like I was like, hey, let's go have fun, and that was kind of the thing. But in all seriousness, I ended up falling in love with it from day one. So the late coach Joe O'Neill, he actually passed away my senior year, but he was my guidance counselor at St. Mark's. I would come into his office all the time for whatever reason, and he would say, "Hey, you look like a runner. Come out and run for us." And that was a big part of it too. And Coach Mike DeGennaro, he's still there. He's the head coach of both the boys and the girls team now. And Tom McCartan, he retired from coaching, but those are the three guys that really got me into running. Mike DeGennaro helped me talk to Jim Fisher at University of Delaware. So even though I only ran for 2 years in high school, I was able to progress really well, and I really loved it. So Jim Fisher took me on as a walk-on my freshman year, and even though they cut the men's programs at University of Delaware my sophomore year, still ran for the club team the remaining 2 years there, and I like to think I did pretty well.
It's such a shame they cut that program. That really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a shame. So, Coach, tell me a little bit about Ethan. Something interesting, funny, memorable, something like that you could share with us.
He likes to kick my butt on runs. No, I like to go on runs with the guys every now and then, the girls sometimes too, and just kind of I like to think of it as an opportunity to get to know them a little bit better. We get to talk a lot during some of the easier runs sometimes to get to know each other. And we would go out to Thompson's Bridge or Brandywine Creek, and Ethan really loves the hills. Like he just anything that's going to challenge him, he's ready to do it. And he knows it's going to make him better. Some people will shy away from it, like, hey, it's an easy run. I don't necessarily want to run up that hill today. Let's go on the flat side of things. And he'll say, nah, let's go do this loop where it's nice and hilly, even though we can keep the pace easy, but we can still challenge ourselves a little bit. And that's just kind of that's the type of person he is. That's the type of athlete he is. And I think that's really the reason why he is where he is now.
That's the attitude of a champion right there.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Ethan, talk about your coach a little bit, what he means to you, how, and what he means to the rest of your team there at Delaware Military Academy.
Yeah, Coach Chris, he's the best coach I could have asked for, especially coming into high school. He's really helped like form me into the runner that I am. Like I came in raw and he sharpened me out a little bit. So he's definitely like really into the team. Like, he like really cares about all of us. And then we'll have like group chats and stuff like that. And he's always in them. He's one of us too. And he's not only a coach, but also a friend.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, fill in any blanks there. What am I missing that I should know or you would like to tell anybody who's watching?
I don't really know. So we went down to regionals this past weekend. So that was cool. We went down to North Carolina for that.
How'd you do?
I did pretty good. I got moved into the championship race because I wanted the competition. So I ended up going in there and I got 63rd and ran 15:59.
Did you say 16:59?
15:59.
15:59?
Yes, sir.
Whoa. Wow. That's pretty fast, man. That's pretty well. That's what that competition does to you, man. It brings out the best in you, right? That you have to do that. That's anybody I know I've ever spoke to that's been a champion of some sort. They want the best competition. They can't, they have to beat the best to be the best. So, kudos to you, because I would imagine that most of them probably were seniors and juniors that were at the top of the leaderboard. I would imagine, right?
Yes, and I just wanted the competition, like, especially after states. I didn't like just being out in front the whole race, so I wanted somebody there pulling me along, and I didn't want an easy win, and that's what I got.
Good for you, man. You definitely have a fantastic attitude. I can see why you are the state champion here in Delaware, no doubt about that. And people got to watch out for you. They're going to have no choice but to watch out for you. You're going to be in front of them for the next couple of years, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you stay healthy and motivated and all like that, right? All right, gentlemen. Chris, miss anything? Any blanks you need to fill in there for me?
No, I mean, like just Ethan just said, like that, and I just talked about, we went down to regionals, and it was what we brought 5 guys down there, and when I entered all 5 of them, I entered them in the championship race because I knew they were going to want the competition. They came back to me and they said, hey, we're going to have to move some of these guys to the open division, and instead they're just not quite where we wanted them to be for the championship race. And they said, Ethan would have a choice. He can run in the open race or he can run in the championship race. And there's no hesitation. He wanted to run in that championship race. He wanted to be out there with the best. So.
Yeah. Well, you got yourself a winner there. That's for sure.
Yep.
That's for sure. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you for making time to stop by the show here and talk to me and give me an opportunity to get to know both of you. And hopefully we will meet again, and perhaps you will take home some more trophies and stuff during the indoor track season. What events are you going to run?
So I'm going to focus on the 800 this year after I found some success in that last year.
Yeah, that's horrible. The half mile is just horrible. It's just as fast as you can for a half a mile. It's just I tried that.
Just holding out that sprint for as long as you can go.
Yeah, it's horrible. I tried that in high school, but I was 6'1", 180, and I just wasn't built for that. I didn't have the look. I was built for it. I don't have what you have, a winning attitude. That was my problem back then. So I like to hang out with people with winning attitudes now. It helps me too. So see, you're helping me out as well there, young man. And I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
All right.
Any day.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks
Nice to meet
again
you.
for stopping by Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. I wish you best of success, happy holidays. And what I'm going to do here in a moment, after you wave goodbye to our growing fan base, is hit the end meeting for all button, and you will disappear, but not really, just from the screen. All right?
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you. It was great to meet you.
Oh, my pleasure. Take care. Here we go. End button now. Good night. Whoa. I just ended me. I'm still here. Hang on. I am still here. Hang on. Okay. Wait, am I here? I don't even know where I am right now. I should be there, but I'm not. There we are. All right. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, these cross-country athletes are something else. They're a special breed of people, especially the ones who succeed. And as you could tell, if you've been watching this whole thing, Ethan Walther is one of those special breeds of people. Sophomore. Not too many sophomores win in the boys divisions in cross-country. So congratulations to him. It was very nice to meet them. And thanks again to Chris Warren for bringing him out. And what else? Special thanks to Jazzercise in Middletown. One of the proprietors there runs a very active Facebook group page for parents of high school athletes here in Delaware. They're kind enough to post up links to these videos that I produce in that group page, and I'm appreciative of that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Marshal Manlove, and now from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I bid you farewell. I already had dinner. It's dessert time now. Yeah. Special thanks to Donnie M, my wonderful, beautiful wife, Joey B, Tommy K. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you find these videos. I appreciate it. Have a good night.